Hello, AJ. I didn't forget about you, but we just haven't had the ARJ Skater. We haven't had the opportunity to cast, Papi. We haven't. We'll do our best. As we are getting into this semi-finals match, this best of 3 PvP between these two lovely players, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Royal Blood, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Dragon KZ Gaming. It is herO. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Royal Blood, we have his opponents. We have the other South Korean Protoss representing Mystery Gaming. It is Classic. I'm gonna have to double check that. Yeah. He doesn't have a clan tag in game, but yes, he is currently representing Mystery Gaming. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. And this is going to be a pretty intense series here. Classic, I was talking about him earlier, but over the past 3 to 4 months, he has been really leveling up in skill, and he has solidified himself as one of the best Protoss in Korea. It's herO, Creator, and Classic. Not necessarily in that order, but they are the top 3 Protosses in Korea right now. And they have been going back and forth. herO and Classic, they have been trading series in ESL Open Cup Asias, in KSLs. So this isn't clear cut, even though I would say herO is the greater, well-rounded player. He has the better PvT, he has the better PvZ. In a PvP, anything can happen, and Classic is no slouch. He's definitely up there with the likes of herO. So we'll see. We'll see how this series will turn out. And who advances on to the grand finals. And to get things off, we do see 2 gate openers from both of our players. We do have Double Stalker from Classic, Double Adept from herO. So a little bit more aggressive from herO. He's going to be looking to avoid these Stalkers, get across the map, and ideally get into a mineral line. Meanwhile, Classic is going to be looking to intercept these Adepts, as 2 Stalkers will take down 2 Adepts in a head-on engagement. He's going to be looking for him, Papi. He's going to be looking. Before that happens, it looks like the probe of Classic has been able to make it on in. The Adepts have been able to zone this out. The probe is going to go down, and the probe will be none the wiser about whether or not a Nexus has been taken or tech. And we can see it is tech. It's a Stargate. We've seen this a lot from herO recently. He is going into 4 Adepts and an Oracle as well. Hyper aggression coming out. He does spot these Stalkers, but he is going to be avoiding them. He is going to be committing to the shade across the map to try and get some damage done. But he does have to take these Stalkers seriously, as the Stalkers turn back around. Oh my god. Classic reading this so well, is going to get a lot of damage done on one of those Adepts, and is now aware that the Adepts did turn around and go back home. So the probe leaves his position, his post at that ramp, but now we have 4 Adepts getting ready in the middle of the map. Oh, and herO, he's hoping to catch 2 Stalkers, but there are 4 Stalkers instead. herO has to try and bypass this army. He goes across the map, but once again, there is going to be a probe here to wall off, and now herO has to deal with 4 Stalkers. Oh boy. hero's in a little bit of trouble here, as the Stalkers are going to be able to shut down that first Adept. Oh my god, they go for some shots on the Oracle as well. They do confirm that an Oracle is going across the map, and Classic, he just walks into the main. There was a little bit of a dance between the 2 players, but Classic did come out on top. And now he's going to be able to pick off probe after probe across the map. The Oracle gets here, but again, Classic saw it coming. And he has Stalkers in position already. herO having a really hard time. He does manage to kill 1 Stalker, but we have a recall. Classic barely able to save 2 of his Stalkers in the end, but he gets a really nice worker lead. Look at the probe counts between our 2 players. Classic up 7 probes compared to herO. Again, Classic just reading the movement of herO oh so well. And again, I'm sure a little bit of metagaming was going on just because these 2 players are so familiar with each other. Not just recently, but historically as well. But herO's not done. His Adepts have survived. He wants to try and go on in. He's going to dive on top of it. Oh, he dives on top of the Sentry. The Sentry goes down immediately, and now he wants to go toe-to-toe with these probes. 3 probes already going to be going down. He wants even more. Up. Can he get them? The Stalkers, it takes a long time to kill an Adept, and it looks like he will find these probes. At the same time, double Oracle dips into the main base. No shield battery, 3 Stalkers. They were not in position, even though herO had a bit of a rough start. He follows it up with Mass Adept Oracle Harass, and he kills 15 probes. He does more than enough damage. Oh, and he's still not done, by the way. No, he's coming back in. He's coming back in, Buffy. Classic thought it was over. Classic thought that the aggression had ended, but it's herO. The aggression, it never ends. He's going to be able to get every single one of these probes. Meanwhile, across the map, Classic is all in. I'm getting some herO versus Jeshi Game 1 vibes. As Classic does have over double the Stalker count of herO, the boys are being pulled over, charges being popped as well. All herO has to do is survive, but he only has 2 gateways. He has a robo on the way, but mate, Classic, he can pull this off. He's going to be able to kill every single one of these units. Even though Classic only has 9 probes, he can still end the game. Here we go, he blinks on forward, he takes down 2 more of these Stalkers. Every single boy is being pulled, and herO is in a lot of trouble. He's in a lot of trouble right now. Probes are falling left and right. We have a recall. These 2 Oracles, what are they going to do? They can help a little bit, I guess. Oh my god. But Classic, he just blinks on forward, dives on top of them. Gonna be able to get another one of these pylons. And here we go. We have another warp in. herO still has a pretty large probe lead. And it looks like herO, he's barely going to be able to clean this up. He loses both Oracles, but the probe surround is just too good. Only 3 Stalkers remaining, and herO still has 25 probes compared to the 13 of Classic. Oh, can he get the pylon? Oh my god! He gets the pylon. That's it. There's no more production. There is no production here, but we do have 2 shield batteries. herO can hold on to his natural, but he cannot hold on to the main. Oh my god. This is still so close. He blinks on forward. herO's gonna lose the Stalker. Is that it? Mate, I think that's it. It's just probes. Classic has done it with the counter all in. herO may be a little bit too greedy in the end. Oh, but the pylon finishes. He gets 1 warp in. He gets 1 Stalker. Oh my god. He gets 1 Stalker. He pulls the boys. Classic is taking a worker lead. Oh god, but the pylon is gonna go down once again. Not before we barely got another warp in. And it looks like now herO should be able to clean this up, right? Yeah. Oh my god. No, I spoke too soon. Come back to the shield battery. Zealots are rallying across the map. This is getting so scrappy. 2 more Stalkers as well. herO's losing too much here. Classic. He's doing it, but even if he gets cleaned up here, it's fine. Classic has been able to overtake the probe count. He has the momentum. He has the production. He has everything he needs. Any more kills he gets here is just a bonus. I'm just in shock. And herO can't do anything. He doesn't have Blink. He doesn't have a Twilight Council. He has nothing left. Oh my god. This game was wild, but... And herO's trying to hold on to hope here. He's warping in a Zealot. He's warping in 2 Zealots as well. But GG gets called. Classic takes game 1. Oh. Oh my god. What did we just watch? Well, what did we just cast? Oh my god, a clown fiesta, papi. A clown fiesta. Ay, ay, ay. Ugh. herO doesn't let you breathe. He doesn't let you breathe, but he also doesn't breathe himself. That's the problem. No one is breathing when herO is playing. Ay, ay, ay. And oh, with that, yeah, Classic is going to be able to take the first game. I'm shooketh, mate. I am shooketh. Hero got robbed. He got robbed, but oh my god. Yeah, I mean, it does happen. This is kind of the this is just the dichotomy here of PvP. Very cutthroat, very brutal. Boy. Again, very unpredictable as well. We'll see how this goes here as we're going to be getting into game number 2. I don't know, man. I don't know, puppy. I don't know how it's going to go. Ah. Classic was, he definitely was collapsing under that pressure. I think the biggest thing from that is that herO was just too greedy. herO was maybe a little bit overconfident from the damage that he was dealing, and because of that, he didn't throw down a third gateway. He didn't start immortal production. I believe the robo was just finishing up when the counterattack was happening, but he just wasn't really expecting such a committed push from Classic. He wasn't ready for it. I'm sure if we end up in a situation like that again, herO will be, but I don't expect that situation to happen again. I expect a lot more variety out of our players as we're going to be getting into game number 2. Ooh. And we'll see how this story ends, or how this story will continue. Let's find out. As we are going to be loading into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the best Protoss in the entire world, representing CranKy Z Gaming. Currently down in this series, one more loss, and he is out of this week's Korean StarCraft League. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Gresvan, we have the player currently leading this series. One more game and he moves on. He advances to the grand finals. We have the South Korean Protoss player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Classic. Oh boy. A lot of chaos ensuing in game number 1, but we'll see how things unfold in game number 2. We should be seeing some 2-gate openers all around from both of our players. Gases are being taken. Only one. Okay, there we go. I was like, is herO gonna go for another gate expand? That would be crazy on Gresvan, but no, he is saner than that. Is going for his own 2-gate opener, and we'll kind of get a glimpse into how aggressive our players want to be based off the initial units, as we still have to wait for our Cybercore to finish up. Again, typically, a Stalker Sentry opener is very defensive and very macro-oriented. It's very reliant on getting scouting information, having less firepower. Double Adept is hyper-aggression. It's what we saw from herO in game number 1. And Double Stalker is just a way to get map control and be assertive yourself, which is what we saw from Classic in game number 1. So we'll see what our players go for. I don't imagine herO's going to go for Double Adept again. We'll see. As the Cybercores are about to finish up and the units of choice are picked. Double Stalker from herO, Classic. Oh, how the roles have been reversed. The turns are tabled. Classic is going to be opening up Double Adept. herO going to be the player with Double Stalker instead. Oh boy. Oh, and that's actually pretty huge. Classic pylon blocking the probe in the main base. The probe goes down, and that means that herO will not be able to see the first 2 units that come out, unlike Classic. Classic has this probe alive across the map, and he will confirm at least 1 Stalker, so he knows that herO isn't going for a Double Adept opening. Meanwhile, herO doesn't know what Classic is working with. His first Adept is moving out across the map. Sorry, his first Stalker is moving out across the map, but the Adepts are remaining hidden. herO staying on 1 base, by the way. He goes for a Robo and a 3rd gateway. He's going for a 1 base all-in. 3 gates and a prism. That's all that herO needs. Classic is going for an expansion instead, and Classic needs to figure out what is going on here. He does have his Adepts on the way, but there is a probe to block him. Oh, and herO is on point with that shield battery block. Classic doesn't know what's happening. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know about the all-in that's coming his way. He does scout the lack of natural at least, so he knows that much. He does have 2 sentries as well. Sentries are okay supportive. They're good supportive units, but on their own, they are going to be lacking. And herO, he's just going to dive on in. He wants the sentries. He is going to be looking to get at least one of them before the Nexus does finish, but it looks like the shield battery barely keeps it alive. Here we go. We have that prism on the way. We have a sentry as well. Classic confirms the 1-base play as the shield battery finishes. It was not cancelled. And this is a good reaction from Classic. He's throwing down a defensive robo. This will lead into Immortal production, and Immortals will shut down any gateway army that herO is going to be working with. But Classic just needs to survive until he can get that first Immortal. Here we go. Stalkers being warped in 3 at a time across the map. We have 1 shield battery done. A 2nd shield battery is on the way. But herO, he doesn't have to hit the natural. He can elevator into the main base. He's going for it. He does have the sentry for the force field. Oh, and it looks like we will not get that force field in the end. The boys are going to be pulled, and Classic is ready for a fight. He doesn't have a shield battery in the main, though. He does have a smaller army, but he's going for the prism. The prism goes down. We cannot reinforce across the map. More boys are being pulled. Classic is losing a lot of probes, actually. Oh my god, he didn't really have too many to spare. I didn't even realize that. 17 probes are going to be going down, and despite the prism falling, it looks like herO has dealt more than enough damage. Oof. Again, even though we had 2 shield batteries at the natural, we didn't have a shield battery in the main base. Classic wasn't ready for the elevator into the main. It caught him off guard. It cost him how many probes? 18 probes. Oof, 17 really, because 1 was a scouting probe. 17 probes go down. herO, despite being a 1-base all-in, he's ahead in economy. He has a fully saturated main base going on right now. He has more than enough money to work with, and he has rebuilt the prism, and he's coming in again. Classic has the potential for more probes because he has 2 nexuses, but Classic is hurting right now. We have a massive warping of adepts. herO shades in. Oh, where are the probes? They're just non-existent, Papi. They are non-existent. He's looking to shade into the main base. We do have a wall off with that gateway, but the prism doesn't care about your walls. The prism goes over the wall, and the adepts have made it into the main. GG gets called, and herO fights back in this series with the 1-base all-in and ties it up 1-1. Oh. Oh. Damn, again, a big oversight from Classic is no shield battery in the main. He was expecting a frontal assault. He was caught off guard by the prism getting into the main. He wasn't ready for that kind of fight, for that kind of angle, and yeah, Classic lost a lot of probes as a result. Otherwise, he would have had a shield battery. He would have had an overcharge as well. Overcharge would have been huge for Classic. It would have been massive. Oh. But it was not meant to be, and now we have an ace match. We do have that ace match. Oh boy. And you can hear the beeps. All of the casters are coming together. We are converging here in the upper semifinals. That does mean that the lower semis has already ended. I don't know the results. We'll have a look at it later. Oh boy, but yeah, Chicken Man is going to be joining the lobby with us. I believe that means Solar, Special, and Nice have finished up their games. What did happen there? Find out later. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have the South Korean Protoss player representing Mystery Gaming. It is Classic. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neo Humanity, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss bringing back the series, tying it up 1-1, forcing the ace match, representing KaiZ Gaming. Sorry, Dragon KaiZ Gaming. It is herO. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go. As we are now near humanity, we should be seeing some more 2-gate openers. I don't think herO is going to be crazy enough to go for a gate expand, especially against Classic. You don't want to tempt him to just all in you. I mean, that's how we saw herO fall against herO was kind of dancing with death in the end there, was flying too close to the sun, trying to get away with an insane amount of greed, and he was punished for it. I don't see that happening again here, and there we go. Do have that 2-gate opener from both players. And now we get to play our favorite game. What 2 units are going to be coming out from either player? I do wonder. herO has a little bit of momentum. This is the smallest map in the map pool. It's got to be double adept, right? herO's got to be going for the double adept, right? We're going back to our roots, Poppy. Back to our roots. Meanwhile, Classic, I think after losing that game, maybe wants to be a little bit more defensive. I'm going to say Stalker Sentry from Classic. Stalker Sentry. But we'll see. We'll see. See what 2 units come out. As we just have both probes just sticking around a little bit longer to try and get vision on what does pop out. The cyber cores are done, and herO does go back to his roots. He does go for the double adept. Does make a lot of sense. But Classic doesn't back off. He doesn't go for the safer Sentry Stalker. He goes double Stalker instead. So he still wants to assert himself on the map. He still wants to apply that pressure. Oh my god. And Classic is taking the initiative here, going for his own fast robo. Are we going to see a 3rd gateway? Are we going to see a 1-base all-in? Classic, he was pretending like he was going to take the natural, but no, not at all. He's trying to feign economy here in front of herO. herO does go for his own base, by the way. Uh-oh. We're just, the roles are reversing. Yep, there's the 3rd gate. It's the same build. This is exactly what herO did last game. Classic's like, hey, you know what you did last game? I can do it better. Oh my god. Let's go, Poppy. Let's go, sir. 3 gates, War Prism all in here. There's a Prism from Classic, just like the last game. herO does have a lot of sentries to work with, and with these sentries, he should be going for a hallucinated scout to try and figure out what is going on. He already has 2 adepts zooming across the map, and this is going to be a big one. herO is going to check and confirm the lack of nexus here for Classic, so he knows about the 1-base play. He doesn't know what's happening. Looking at the vision. Oh, he sees a Prism! Oh my god, he sees a Prism. He knows at the same time the force fields are insane. He traps 1, not just 1, 2 Stalkers. Oh my god, that is insane. 2 Stalkers going down already with the power of the Sentry. Classic overextending. And when you're 1-base all in, you can't afford to throw away units. Every unit matters so much. They are all so influential in this game. And Classic is already transitioning. He's throwing down a Bay. He knows that he can't do it. He knows that he cannot end the game with this 3 gates. Ay, ay, ay. He's trying to micro his heart out here, but he's being forced back by herO. herO's defensive line is just a little bit too good, especially after the initial force fields. We do have 3 adepts threatening the main base. They do actually shade into the main, but oh, they don't commit. Classic is forced out, but he's still all in. He is going to be going for a disruptor. 1-base disruptor as the follow-up here. I do appreciate that Classic hasn't tried to force the issue. He hasn't tried to like just ape in and try to end the game anyway. After losing his Stalkers, he immediately threw down the Bay. He knew that, okay, this will not work. I need to do something a little bit different. Oh, and this hallucination. Oh my god. He sees the Prism going back home, and herO, he sees the disruptor, the tech, everything. herO is fully aware of what's coming his way, but even though he's aware, can he stop it? 3 adepts shade into the main base. Probes are falling left and right. To be fair, herO can... Oh, the force field! Oh my god! Ay, ay, ay. 1 adept makes it out. But what I was about to say is that herO can afford to lose probes. He's ahead in workers. He's got 2 bases. Losing probes, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But can he avoid the Purification Novas. We have a fourth gateway being set up. Classic is not going to attempt to expand. He is still committed to the all-in. herO splitting up his forces, looking for the angle of that prism. We have 2 disruptors now with the main army. And herO doesn't have blink. He doesn't have blink. He does have his own warp prism though, so he can try and avoid those Purification Novas. But he just has to be very careful with his army. Here we go. We do have a couple of force fields here to kick things off. Where the disruptors, and there we go. The first Nova goes off. Oh, and the Nova will find a detonation. The Immortals are safe, but a second Nova goes off as well. The Immortal goes down. But that was only one Immortal, and you know what? We have more where that came from. herO is going to be able to force this back, but you know what? That was a good trade for Classic, and he's luring his opponent in. Oh my god, we do have some reinforcements coming in from behind to try and cut off herO. Oh my god. It's so tense, Papi. It's so tense. Classic does have double the Stalker count of herO as well. He can win a straight up battle. Here we go. Another Nova's going to be going up. Does connect with the Stalkers of herO. He's losing far too much. He comes in with the Immortals, but 2 Immortals on their own. They're too naked. They're too exposed. Everything is going to go down. The Prism as well. The Novas were too good. And Classic with the follow-up all in is going to be able to pull this off, mate. He's focusing down that Immortal. Oh my god, he is barely going to get it. The overcharge 1 second too late, and yeah, Classic, he sees heroes all in. He's like, mate, I'll do it myself. With a bit of a different twist to it, of course, as every probe in the naturals being pulled here, but it is not going to be enough. Oh. And herO, again, I mentioned this earlier, he may be the best Protoss in the world, but when it comes to PvP, Classic is up there with him. GG, well played. Classic will take the series 2-1. Oh. GG, well played. Wow. Classic, with the power of the Disruptor, with the follow-up all in, was able to pull it off in the end. herO, unfortunately, he was very proactive when it came to saving his Immortals with his Prism harass. With his Prism micro, but he was losing a couple too many gateway units to all of those Novas. He did have some shield batteries in position. The overcharge was maybe popped a little bit late. He just wasn't able to scramble and prepare his army in time. And yeah, GG. Well played to Classic for taking the series there. And for respecting herO as well. And what I mean by that is, if you remember, Classic initially was going for a 3-gate Prism. And as soon as he lost those first 2 Stalkers, he's like, nah. He's like, okay, this is going to work. I need to transition. I need to just add something else here. Add some spice to this all-in. And that was the Bay. That was the Disruptors. So again, very calculated move by Classic. Very risky, of course, because you have to rely on your Purification Novas actually connecting and actually dealing damage. But did work out in the end, and yeah, congratulations. Classic moves on to the grand finals. I know there are some herO fans in the chat. I know. I understand. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking, but it's how PvP is. It's very chaotic. I think someone in the chat mentioned it earlier about how like these games they're very aggressive, and typically between the Korean Protosses, that's how it goes. You know, very short games, very quick, very decisive. You have very little room for error as well. You know, because every little mistake matters that much more in such a short game. So yeah, it can be brutal like that. It can be brutal. And that is why players like Classic, Creator, and herO, they go back and forth in series. They do go back and forth. They do trade. PvP is just that much more dynamic as a result. And yeah, now we have our second finalist. And I say our second finalist because it is time to have a look at that bracket, which still hasn't been updated.